Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to St. Germain's Alchemical Activation of Light Workers. Are you all light workers? Yes. Are you enjoying this Conscious Life Expo? Yes. Okay. Well, get ready for a new ride. Here is the Master of St. Germain. You all know him, right? Yes. He is the Master of Aquarius and ready to help you. So the purpose of this session is to co-create with us a live, loving, alchemical experience to accelerate personal and planetary consciousness and alchemical joy. The Aquarian age is an age of divine joy. The Master will use the violet laser light. You may never have heard this term. It's something that he provided through the Heart Center activity a number of years ago, which is a more advanced frequency than just the violet flame, to quicken global transmutation and change. So later on in the session, we'll have questions and answers, and expect miracles, new revelations, and a powerful uplift in spirit. Our expectation of miracles is key, because if we expect them, then that sets the flow field instead of force field for the possibility of the alchemy of the miracle to manifest, right? Yes. So here is the book that St. Germain dictated through me, St. Germain on Advanced Alchemy, Heart Streaming and the Aquarian Age. The Master gave me this term, heart streaming. I've talked about it here at the Expo the last 2 years. It's a beautiful concept. We all do it when we're centered in our hearts, in the God presence. When we send love, when we meditate, when we emanate light, we are heart streaming the Aquarian frequencies of divine gnosis, beingness, higher consciousness to all mankind, to all of your tribes, all those who you were sent to earth to help, to influence, to bless. So who is St. Germain? The great alchemist of the modern civilization, the wonder man of Europe, Chohan, or Lord of the seventh ray of freedom for the Aquarian age. The Aquarian avatar, just as Jesus was the avatar of the Piscean age, the last 2,000 years, St. Germain and his beloved twin flame Portia are the Aquarian masters or avatars of this coming 2,000-year cycle. The exponent of the use of the violet consuming flame, which we learned about in the St. Germain Foundation, the IM activity, and now the violet laser light. And the lover of our souls, we all feel St. Germain's great love for us. And he has also been called the God of freedom to the earth. God not being Almighty God, God being an emanation of God, a manifestation of God stepped down through an ascended master, which is our destiny too, right? Many of you are embodied angels, and you will return to the angelic kingdom when you ascend. Others of us have incarnated through the evolution of mankind, and you will be ascended masters. And then some of you will keep evolving till what? Who knows? Closer and closer to God. This is an image of Le Comte de Saint-Germain. I didn't say it right in French, correct me if you speak French. But he was the miracle worker in Europe who appeared all over Europe and did amazing things. He actually ascended after his final embodiment as Francis Bacon, who actually was the writer of the Shakespearean plays, and then came back into incarnation and appeared all over Europe and did miracles. So the major embodiments of St. Germain, he was the ruler of a Golden Age civilization in the area of the Sahara Desert 70,000 years ago. Seems like a long time. Some of you were there. And many of us have been embodied on Earth for over 100,000 years, right? Back to Lemuria, and even before Lemuria, maybe on other star systems, other planets. He was the high priest on Atlantis in the Temple of Purification, serving in the order of Lord Zadkiel, who is the seventh ray archangel, the archangel of the violet light. He was the prophet Samuel. When we say Uncle Sam in the United States, we're actually kind of invoking Samuel, St. Germain. He was St. Joseph, the father of Jesus, or Yeshua, Isa, who traveled to India, and he was St. Alban, Merlin the magician, who worked with none other than the great Excalibur priest king, Arthur. He was Proclus, he was Roger Bacon, Christopher Columbus, who's kind of gotten a bad rap in the last 20 years or so. but he was a visionary, and he did help found America. And many of us wouldn't be here if it weren't for Christopher Columbus. So believe what you believe about him. Maybe there was some bad things that happened to the native peoples. It was all part of a greater plan. We could have been a lot nicer to the native peoples. I know I was embodied as a Native American or a Native First Nations person, and I have a lot of memories of what life was like in America, what we call America before. So I have mixed feelings about this, but I have to say that I don't think we can lay the full blame on Christopher Columbus for all the ills that happened to the native peoples. So put that on the shelf if that's your belief system, please. And he was Francis Bacon, one of the major pen of the Shakespearean plays. There were other pens, other writers that he worked with, and it was an amazing alchemy of bringing forth all those sonnets and Shakespeare plays. Here's an image from one of our artists of you sitting in the lotus with light emanating from your heart chakra, your causal body around you overshined by your Buddhic presence or your Buddha nature. So this is one of our goals in life, is to be this initiate of light. I'd like to play this. This is a beautiful song. The Arcturus and Victoria connection, they are called the Elohim, the creators of worlds, of the seventh ray. So they work through Saint Germain and other great initiates to anchor light on the earth.
God's
Here's you and your twin flame in your pristine divine origin. Zadkiel, as I mentioned, is the archangel of the seventh ray. Here's Saint Germain with one artist's rendition, anchoring the freedom flame. And here's a representation of using the violet laser light. Laser is light amplification, stimulated energy, radiance or something. Who knows what laser means? Any physicists here? Okay. Light amplification, emission radiation. Okay. So what laser energy is focused light, typically through mirrors or through a prism or a chrism, and it pinpoints it into one point, and then it can burn through steel, right? Or it can do many things. So when we use the violet light, which is like, many of us call it the violet consuming flame, and it transmutes karma, transmutes darkness, transmutes illusion, maya, inanity, any perversions. That's great. But when we have a greater work where we desire to send, let's say, to China, a frequency of the violet light of freedom to help the young people there to rise out of the mediocrity that they may be living in because of a system that's not quite as free as it could be, we can direct currents and streams and a laser-like accuracy to thousands and even millions of young people through the prism of our hearts to urge them toward their freedom. And you can use the crystalline nature of your being to focus that light. And it can go into multi-dimensions. It can do amazing work, only limited by your perception, your belief system. So the higher the mindfulness you have, the more Buddhic or Christic awareness you have, the greater the spiritual work you can do through your imagination, which means eye magic and action, and through your visioning of this higher perception actually manifesting. Maybe I should say womanifesting. Okay. So anyway. So Saint Germain and the violet laser light. We have a beautiful elemental song. Nature spirits are very dear to all of us, I believe, especially the young people now. I have a lot of friends who do permaculture. I'll be giving a permaculture presentation tomorrow evening. And the elemental spirits are really important for the balancing of the earth, right? And we all need to revere them, to love them, to cherish them, to work with them. In our gardens, growing organic, live, healthy food, consuming that food so that we have the proper DNA manifesting within us and we're not taking in GMOs, we're not taking in non-organic stuff, which actually will impact our progeny. So I've chosen, when I was 15, I worked at a health food store. I've tried to eat organic foods since I was 15 years old. I'm 62. And I know many of you feel the same. I'm 90% vegan. And, I'm getting there. I still have honey. But we need to honor Mother Nature and live in harmony, walk the earth in balance. It's part of the path of Aquarian victors, of Aquarian initiates, of freedom lovers. For us to do this, we have to walk the earth consciously.
Save the elementals all, earth, water, air, and fire. Save the elementals all, through heaven's pure design. Save the elementals all, pollution now consume. Save the elementals all, protect all life in bloom. a dome of light erect. Save the elementals all, gnome, sylph, and salamander. Save the elementals all, and undines in the water. Save the elementals all, seal all in mercy flame. Save the elementals all, their victory proclaim. Save the elementals all, each forest, park, and arbor. Save the elementals all, each ocean, sea, and harbor. Save the elementals all, on Mother Earth beloved. Save the elementals all, by heaven's grace above. Save the elementals all, earth, water, air, and fire. Save the elementals all, through heaven's pure desire. Save the elementals all, pollution now consume. Save the elementals all, protect all life in bloom. Save the elementals all, their habitats protect. Save the elementals all, a dome of light erect. Save the elementals all, gnome, sylph, and salamander. Save the elementals all, and undines in the water. Save the elementals all, seal all in mercy flame. Save the elementals all, their victory proclaim. Save the elementals all, each forest, park, and arbor. Save the elementals all, each ocean, sea, and harbor. Save the elementals all, on Mother Earth beloved. Save the elementals all, by heaven's grace above.
Here's the Maltese cross, which is Saint Germain's signet. We have a beautiful I Am the Violet Light meditation on our website and through YouTube. Here's an image of Portia by one artist with Saint Germain. And I gave a discourse not too long ago on how Saint Germain shares keys for justice to manifest on earth. Right now, it seems like we all desire justice, right? We desire there to be harmony, but there to be truth, freedom, understanding, authenticity. This is the time where authenticity has to manifest because truth is coming to the fore, whether people desire it or not, at all levels of our government, yet it always starts with us. If we aren't authentic, how can we expect our government, our leaders to be authentic? We have to be true to our real self, and then that stimulates the ethers for everyone to be true to their true self. If we aren't living in that modeled divine existence of loving life, we can't expect others to do that. So we have to maintain harmony, equipoise, peace, presence in our lives. I gave a Saint Germain for Prophecy for 2015 discourse through a radio program in Seattle, and it's had 95,000 views. It was magnificent. Dr. Pat, have you heard of Dr. Pat in Seattle? Some of you know her. She's an amazing alchemist herself. And then the Prophecy for 2017 received nearly 25,000 hits. People want to know what's going to happen in the future. The future depends on our choices today, and we are making the future, right? You are all initiates. And what is an initiate? Someone who initiates cycles of light through their consciousness wed to God, through your being one with the eternal. So if you desire to help Saint Germain initiate a golden crystal age of enlightenment, freedom, and universal brother-sisterhood, every day becomes an opportunity, with Portia, the goddess of opportunity, to initiate a cycle, a spiral of beingness, of light, of virtue. So the more virtue you emanate, the more light you hold in your aura, not just hold, but actually emanate, the more you co-create with the Ascended Masters. Your sponsoring master or guides, your guardian angel, your spirit, the more you help Saint Germain to, at a cosmic level, focus that violet light frequency into all areas of our civilization, all areas of our culture. And we all know that we require it. There's a song we have, Freedom We Claim Now. We have to claim freedom for every soul. And we stake our claim deep in the earth, and then we move forward. And we have to be victorious every day in some way to help the Master. Now, at our booth, I think it's, 306?
Yes.
We have these organites, and Boyd Batten in Montana makes these pyramid organites. He embeds within them a special blessing and special crystals and other elements that make them very powerful. And those who have used these violet pyramid organites have seen the power of them. They can transmute darkness in their vicinity, and they help to mitigate electropollution and a lot of the stuff from cell towers and you name it. I mean, we live in a wireless society, but we're in the soup of electromagnetic disgust, really. And I have seen into the future where we'll be doing away with all the wires and all the wireless technology we have, and we'll be using total crystal energy and solar energy. And, of course, these discoveries have already been made, but they've been suppressed. We know this. And there are places around the earth, underground, where they're using the new technologies, but we don't have them, right? It's time for us to spiritually demand that these technologies come forth for all mankind, all cultures, all peoples, and that they are F-R-E-E. Do you agree? Okay. So Saint Germain is an exponent of freedom, and it is free energy too. Because energy is of God, God is energy is God, and we deserve to have that free energy. We know that the orgone energy and the energy of the Divine Mother is everywhere in cosmos. It's in every breath we take. We just have to access it. And some of you are great accessors of that energy already. You're living very consciously, walking the earth in harmony and balance, and you are the exponents of the new age. We have a violet laser light video.
Violet laser light, come charge us as we pray. Violet laser light, now blaze through us today. Violet laser light, transmute, dissolve, consume. Violet laser light, renew, expand, and bloom. Violet laser light, bring radiant angels here. Violet laser light, new joyful ways appear. Violet laser light, now lays and maze and praise. Violet laser light, now phase and blaze and raise. Violet laser light, we're youthful, happy, free. Violet laser light, we claim our victory. Violet laser light, God's alchemy now stream. Violet laser light, fulfill our highest dream. Violet laser light, through Portia Saint Germain. Violet laser light, now justice, freedom, reign.
I gave a talk on Aquarian leadership and the beautiful basis of Saint Germain and who he is, what he's done, and what his mission is. So there's also a Buddha of the violet light who helps to raise the frequency of our earth. You know, every Buddha being has mastered both the 7 major rainbow rays and what we call the 5 crystal rays. And these frequencies are very ethereal, very refined. And so when you enter your Buddha nature, and Saint Germain is also a Buddha, by the way, if you didn't know that, he's also Buddha. You enter the higher realms of the very high etheric plane where you can focus deep within the earth crystalline energies to transform civilization, first subtly and then materially. You know, alchemy is about changing base metals into gold, and we know that's a metaphor for changing our lower nature to our Christic Buddhic nature through the golden light of the sun of our divine presence. Every Buddha being is illumined, awakened, and has done this because the aura of all Buddhas is this expansive golden radiant light field, right? And so you can develop that. How do you do that? Meditation, daily practice, the disciplines of conscious awareness. Eckhart Tolle's teaching on living in the eternal now, in the present moment, walking the earth where you feel integrated in your body. You're not just a woo-woo being gallivanting around the cosmos. You can do that in meditation sometimes, but you're also anchoring that woo-woo, wee-wee, W-I nature here in your heart, walking the earth. Saint Germain was also a very practical master. If you didn't know that, he is so practical that when you actually get to know him, he will help you with everything that you're doing physically, your gardens, your projects, your work, your service. Here's some devotees singing on a swing, I am the Freedom Flame. We have an event next weekend in San Diego at Dennis Fisher's home in Vista, California. It's going to be awesome. Saint Germain on soul freedom and self-realization for Aquarian initiates. So it's kind of taking what we're learning here and moving it forward. And we have a class in June in Washington, D.C. area, and a class in Mount Shasta, July 26th through 29th. So this year we're going to Mount Shasta in July. So now for the activation. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, sit up straight. Your chakras aligned. You can choose to hold your hands cupped in your lap and do some deep, slow breathing the way that works for you. Enter into the mindful, conscious stream of your presence as the pulsation from your mighty I Am God presence is manifesting through both your breath and your sacred heartbeat. I, Saint Germain, step through the veil and activate through these, my initiates, my friends, my co-workers, the light, the light, the light of the violet flame as violet laser light into each chakra, into each cell, into the crystalline essence of your true God reality. Through this activation now there flows a radiance of seventh ray joy, freedom to be who you are, love realized through selfhood in God. I claim you as my own, O initiates of the sacred fire. I claim you as freedom lovers of mankind. I claim you as those who will assist Portia and me to work consciously day by day, hour by hour, moment by eternal moment, to emanate love and its highest offering, virtue and its most pristine emanation, joy and all of its uplifting and spirited Holy Spirit manifestations. When you live in joy, O sons and daughters of God, you live in the angelic field of perfect harmony, peace, brother-sisterhood, unity. O unity, mankind, come into unity now. Feel the unification of all life, the unity field of beingness, of your oneness with yourself, and all that is true that you have known forever. Lord Zadkiel, come forth and clear Los Angeles, California, all of the suburbs here. Burn through, O sacred fire, and anchor deep within the earth along the fault lines. The San Andreas Fault, from the south to the north, from the north to the south, and back again 7 times. Violet light to mitigate all potential earthquakes, all shifting of the earth's crust that could result, if not mitigated, in destruction of life. I foresee a golden age manifesting here as it appeared on Lemuria, the motherland, and during a time and 3 half a times on Atlantis. And that golden age civilization in South America, in Africa, in China, and elsewhere. And as these initiates are now consciously birthing it into manifestation through the love, wisdom that they hold dear within them. Now I touch you each one with my alchemical, crystalline fire. I charge you with the new light energies of spirit that you can access through your mindfulness from within your heart, from within your higher mind, anywhere that you exist in your Godhood. I call you brother, I call you sister, dearest ones, for you truly are dear to me, holy, pure, undefiled, in your original state of being, which we in heaven yet hold you within in our mind's purview and our eyes' visage. Now, beloved Alpha and Omega, descend over this room to also charge and bless each one with the blueprint of your true being, with ampules of light from the great central sun. They charge the atmosphere of the entire planet, and they utilize the causal body of the great divine director now to purify this entire earth and her evolutions in violet laser light. There is a conflagration of sacred fire in the atmosphere high above the earth and deep now within the earth to transmute ancient records of darkness upon these shores and all nations. The records of the destruction of Atlantis that are yet to be transmuted. This day, through these hearts, is transmuted. The records of infamy against the native peoples, the First Nations, now are transmuted by God's grace. And Zadkiel walks in all 50 states throughout Canada, Mexico, Central and South America, and calls to task those ignoble ones who have wreaked havoc upon the pure and innocent, the undefiled, the holy children of God and children of the Son. Earth is restored to its pristine state of God consciousness, solar awareness, divine innocence. As your Saint Germain, I lead you in this holy battle of Armageddon, not as warriors where division and strife manifest, as advocates of true freedom, spiritual awakening, and divine gnosis. I now also provide each and every one of you through your higher mind an engram of light as an alchemical formula to assist you on your path of light, your path of oneness, your path of joy. This formula is unique for each of you, and it will continue to be released in days, weeks, months, and even years to come to inspire you to a new co-creativity with God, to assist you in maintaining deep spiritual connectivity with your source, and a certain blessedness and grace that you each one have earned through your conscious lives lived to the glory of God. Now the power of the Holy Spirit as the refreshment of who you are is manifest within this room and expanded to the entire Conscious Life Expo, all booths, all light workers, all those here serving humbly as the staff and the volunteers, as well as the Hilton staff. I anchor a rod of violet laser light in the center of this expo, and it will remain in violet in light as a lodestone of alchemical love in the city of the angels. Oh, the city of the angels. Do you know, dearest ones, that you walk with the angels throughout the city of the angels? Walk with them, talk with them, muse with them, fly with them, imagine with them, worship with them. Simply be with them who you are as a spirited being of light. And in this you are fulfilled and love. Amen. I've been very privileged over the last 13 years to receive over 5,000 what we call heart streams, either in dictation, discourse, or darshan form, many by the Master Saint Germain. I would say probably 200 by Saint Germain. Many of them are incorporated in the book, which is Volume 1 of Advanced Studies of Alchemy, and many will be in the next version. However, Saint Germain's final message to you today is that you are a messenger of love. You are an initiate of grace. You are a healer, an exponent of the new era, the new age. Be who you are, love with your entire being, pour out the fullness of yourself in what you do and what you give. And in all of this, you will fulfill the requirements for your ascension, and you will ascend, whether in this life or the next. The choice is yours. You can make it. You can do it. You have the capability. You have the wherewithal. You have the guts, so to speak, to go all the way. Will you go all the way?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. God bless you. We're not done. If you have a question for the Master Saint Germain, what I'm going to do is you can come up here and ask the question in this mic so it's recorded, and then I will answer it. So if you have a question, just come on up.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, what's this all about with Saint Germain having been hovering over the Founding Fathers when they were signing the Declaration of Independence? What was that all about? Is there any truth to that? Did they actually see Saint Germain?
There was a man who appeared in the room where they were debating whether to sign the document, in Philadelphia, I believe. And this man, no one knew who he was, but he gave a spirited discourse And then at the end, he said, and sign that document, because they were wavering whether to do so or not. There was a lot of dissension about different aspects of the Declaration and also the Constitution. I think it actually had more to do with the Constitution. So if you study American history, there was a lot of stuff going on when the Constitution was happening and the Declaration. You know, some wanted more federal power, some wanted more state power. There's a whole dynamic there. But this being appeared just like them. He was in the galleys. He stood up, gave this spirited talk, and then it was so stirring that they felt the electricity of it, and they signed the Declaration. So that was the physical manifestation of Saint Germain. Okay? Thanks for the question. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
Your slideshow talked about prophecy for 2015 and 17. What about 18?
Well, Saint Germain gave a heartstream through me. It was more generic, and he was saying, I prophesy that you will do this. And he gave everyone who listened or watched an impetus of dynamic fire to move forward on their path. See, prophecy is not just about fortune telling of the future. It is an emphatic, Holy Spirit-directed gift that is an empowerment for us to move forward and to emphatically make an impact on our future by our conscious choice. So what Saint Germain did was, he didn't say, well, this is going to happen and that's going to happen in 2018. He said, you are destined to do this if you choose by free will to do this. It was kind of a challenge. And it's on our website. And if you go to heartscenter.org, hearts plural, no apostrophe, and in the little search thing, you type in Saint Germain Prophecy 2018, you should be able to find that. And hopefully you'll get some insights. Okay?
So when you did what was it, a discourse, or when you did the...
This was a dictation.
Dictation.
Yeah, it's a full-on.
So when in the part of the dictation where Saint Germain is claiming us,
Yes.
what does that mean exactly?
He is enfolding us with light as a family, as a brother-sisterhood. We've lost somewhat, all of us, at some point, our total connection with Source, right? We are incarnated in time and space. You know, many of us chose to come back. Many of you are embodied angels. You chose to serve and help people. But we've all kind of lost a little bit of our divine glory. So by claiming us, he's reaffirming that we are one. We are all one. We're all in this together. And by claiming us, he's bringing us to his heart and saying, I love you. I claim you as my holy brother or sister. Didn't he say something about my holy brother, sister? He said brother, sister. I know he used those terms. But he's called holy brother. His name means holy brother. And I was seeing him actually, as he was claiming all of us, he was affirming, you are a holy brother. You are a holy sister. If we can't get beyond the sense that the masters are separate from us and better than us, we'll never rise to that state of consciousness. We have to start living as ascended masters while on earth. We have to almost pretend that we have that level of attainment, not in an egotistical way, but in a practical, realistic, loving way, and a giving way, and then we rise into that ascended master state of awareness. So by claiming us, he was saying, you have what it takes. He said that at the end. You have what it takes. You have what it takes to make your ascension in this life or the next. So I think he was claiming us all as his brothers and sisters, as one family. That's what I felt. Anybody else? Yeah.
What is the connection with him being up in Mount Shasta?
What's the connection with Saint Germain being up in Mount Shasta? Well, that's where Saint Germain appeared to Godfrey Ray King, that was a pen name for Guy Ballard in the late 1920s. Guy Ballard wrote Unveiled Mysteries, and then The Magic Presence, and then the I Am Discourses, which are the first three books, which are phenomenal. and under the dispensation of the Saint Germain Foundation. They have a beautiful theater, 2 plays there every year that are phenomenal, outside in nature, that are one with angels, one on the life of Christ. And they happen in August. I think it's the first weekend, second weekend in August. But Mount Shasta is kind of a power spot on the earth where some people feel there's an ancient Lemurian brotherhood under the mountain in the earth. There's a lot of woo-woo stuff happening there too, but there are a lot of light bearers who live there. We have a group there, and we have 2 services a week that we broadcast from 6 to 9 a.m., Mondays and Thursdays, free through our website from Mount Shasta. So it is a power center. And we meditate for 15 minutes in silence, and then we give a lot of mantras, invocations, sing songs, and have sharing. And then typically I will either give a live message from a master, or they will play a replay of one that I've given in the past. Every Monday and Thursday from Mount Shasta. We have from Tuesday, it originates from here in Los Angeles. But it's broadcast free on our website. There's no charge to access that. And then Dennis broadcasts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights from Vista, California through his web connection. So there's a lot happening in California. I wish there were more. You know, San Francisco could use a little boost right now. Yeah. But thanks. Yeah, Mount Shasta is a special place. I usually go every year. This year it's going to be in late July. Anybody else? Well, thank you, everyone. We have to kind of clear the... Oh, yes, go ahead.
Do you ever see the violet light anywhere?
Do I ever see the violet light anywhere? You don't think I see? What? The violet light... Yes, I see the violet light. I see it in my meditation, but I see it... The auras of African American people really have a lot of violet. If you look at some of the people walking around the fair who go to the aura booth, see, the African American people have deep soulfulness, and that's the chakra of the violet light. Some people think that the crown chakra is the violet chakra. I think it's really the soul, and soulfulness is about freedom. So yes, I see the violet light. You don't think I see it? You want to know how much you have? The more you invoke, the more you imagine, the more you visualize, and feel. The feeling is the key to experiencing it. You can visualize all you want. You have to feel what you're envisioning for it to be a reality. So if you don't see now, don't worry. Because you know what? Intuiting through your heart is more important than seeing through your higher vision.
I can see it, by the way.
Okay, good. Yeah. But even if you don't have clairvoyance, don't worry. Just keep visualizing it, accepting it, believing it, feeling it, and dance with it. Dance, dance, dance. Okay, and we got to dance out of here. Thank you, everyone.